Greetings, fight fans. Namaskar and welcome to the MMA Roundtable post-fight episode for UFC 263, which took place this morning. Israel Adesanya defends his middleweight championship for the third time? Third time, yeah? Fourth time?
Yeah, third time.
Third time. A brand new Mexican flyweight champion and almost the comeback of the year. We'll talk about all that. Joining me, as always, is Siddharth Singh, founder and head coach of Cross Train Fight Club, and Andrew Liu, MMA journalist, analyst, and commentator, and our encyclopedia. So,
thank you very much.
So, guys, let's start off with the main event. Israel Adesanya took on Marvin Vettori, and man, he looked impressive today, man. Shades of the old Anderson Silva bobbing and weaving against the cage, and to me, I guess his stand-up defense kind of stood out more than his usual counter-striking ability. What do you guys think won him this fight today, Andrew?
You know, what really won him this fight was, again, his IQ. The guy is super smart. Like, he knew exactly what Marvin Vettori was playing. Like, so I was reading up a lot of articles, fight primers and things like that regarding the fight. A lot of really good analysts spoke about the double jab against the cage, right? Like, you double jab and then push him up against the cage, attack with either a takedown or left hand or something like that. Every time Marvin Vettori attacked him with a double jab, he just jumped like so far behind that the guy couldn't even do anything. Like, he didn't have any space to attempt anything, right? Like, and every time he threw, he would miss. I have to give Vettori, though, the guy is really tough, man. He took a lot of leg kicks, a lot of punishment to the body, to the head. He got hit a lot. Like, didn't wear it as much, but like, the guy clearly lost. And even when he took him down, Israel, he still has a few fundamental errors that he still makes. Like, he gives his back when he turns and things like that. But because he's so explosive and in a fight, pure jiu-jitsu doesn't have the same effect as it does maybe in no-gi or even in gi. But you can see him, like, he knows that if he gives his back, he can get out of bad situations and things like that. It's what really won him the fight was this. It was his brain, his fight IQ. And I shouldn't really count out Vettori as well. The guy showed up. He didn't come to lose, but he just got outclassed.
Yeah. Sid, why do you think he wasn't able to cause the kind of damage that we've seen him do in the past, like against Paulo Costa or a Brunson or a Whitaker? They were in the pocket quite a few times, but he wasn't connecting.
I think because of the way Adesanya was fighting, there was a lot of evasive movement, there was a lot of head movement, there was a lot of low kicks. So low kicks is something that he used a lot because he sort of understood that, if he stands in the pocket, there's a chance he might get tagged. I mean, he did stay in the pocket, but he did a lot of head movement. He made Vettori miss a lot of shots. If you remember the first round, there was this one exchange against the cage where he threw about 10 strikes, landed one.
Yeah. That whole Muhammad Ali bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, and that was a strategy initially, to discourage Vettori from, being very confident on the feet. And also, like, the fact that he missed so many with his punches, he missed so many strikes, it gets you tired as well. So the strategy was not to finish the fight in 1 round, 2 round. I mean, Izzy knew that Vettori is extremely durable, so he knew it was going to be a long fight. So he took his time. And if you see the number of leg kicks, I don't know the stats, but the amount of leg kicks that Izzy landed, especially the low kicks, that was pretty spectacular. So, yeah, while it might not show on Vittori's face, I think his legs took a beating, his body took a beating, and just completely outclassed. Outclassed is the word. Again, we spoke about it in the pre-fight show. We spoke about the level of competition. We looked at the competition that Izzy has been facing.
Yeah.
And if you're fighting that caliber and your opponent has been fighting this caliber, you have to step up to the game. I think that's where you've seen the improvements that the two fighters have made. Both have improved from the first fight, but the level at which Izzy has moved, it's just like, it's almost God level now, like God mode. He's reached that level.
at some level, I think at some point, I think Marvin Vettori also was like, maybe by the third or the fourth round, he's like, he was fighting to not lose anymore. Yeah, he had pressure, but he was always really cautious, biting on the feints. Everything Adesanya did, he bit on every feint that he threw. So the reason why I think he was also a little cautious, like, because the lead leg, once the lead leg gets damaged, there's the power to, the ability to throw power shots is greatly reduced. Then you're stuck with like arm punches most of the time because you can't make use of that leg to push off, right? Like you could see it in Vettori. After the third or the fourth round, he was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to fight to not lose now.
Yeah. And how tired did he get as well? He got really tired. Like last 2 rounds, exhausted.
Holding guys down is not easy. Like it's
what
very
round
difficult
was
to do it.
that time when he took the back in? Was that in the second?
Second round, I think. Yeah, he took the back in the second round for a bit, and then Israel, and the really smart defense turned into the choke.
Yeah, I was
If you turn
surprised
away
that
from the
he didn't do
choke,
much more with that position.
That was a huge opportunity, man. That was a huge moment in the fight, and that could have. We're talking about how easy the fight was for Izzy. Man, had he sunk in that choke, then we would be a completely different talk right now.
But no, and that's the thing, right? Like in terms of fighting, you can always say, oh, that was a lucky punch. Oh, Ashak Maya, lucky punch. There's no lucky submission. Every step has to be planned. Every move has to be executed to perfection before you can sink it in. Even we'll talk about it in a little bit in the co-main event. You could see it, like, when in terms of sinking in a choke, especially these days when guys just have really good defense and with gloves, it's not easy. It's very, very difficult.
So, do you guys still feel that Israel has still kind of shown his weakness, shown his cards in the sense that he is still susceptible to a strong ground game? Especially, Marvin is a pretty high-level jiu-jitsu guy. I could say he's a brown belt, right? And he has finished people in the past with chokes. So, after this fight, do you think Izzy is still, susceptible to that? Is that still a weakness that he's going to be working on?
Well, he got taken down a lot. He got taken down. I think the first low kick he threw, he got taken down. First round, he was honest. But like we spoke about in the pre-fight breakdown, we said what he specializes in now is not so much attacks from the bottom position. His game is now how to get back up.
Yeah.
Of course, he understands that standing up, he's levels above his competition. So while he might have a really good bottom game, submissions, why would he want to test it against really good grapplers as well? When he knows standing up, he has such a big advantage. So now his entire game is, if you're down, get back up.
But he is susceptible in those scrambles when he's trying to get back up. Although, like his using the cage to get up was like pure mastery. That he did really well. He even got like an awesome reversal of it, I think, once. But like in some of those scrambles, even against Blauwich, he gave his backup, but he's aware to that position that, I am giving my backup to make this scramble happen. But, he can get caught over there.
He could get caught over there, which is, I don't know, what I really think is, look, the guy's been training with all these animals at Atos. Those guys are taking his back and strangling him daily. And those guys are very, 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 very good at taking the backs and strangling people. So if he's confident enough that he can hang with those dudes, I think he can. This is why I think he gives his back. He's like, I can take it. Like, I can handle myself here. What I'm really impressed with Israel is that not many kickboxers that come into MMA show this kind of growth, maturity, patience, and fight IQ that it takes to be a UFC champion. You are going to get to a point where some guy is going to put it on you. And when I say put it on you, I mean really put it on you. And Kevin Gastelum almost did it to him. Almost did it to him, right? Like, dude, the kickboxers, some of the greatest kickboxers in the world, Gokhan Saki, look at what happened to him in MMA. You mess around with guys who know what they're doing, you're gonna take a beating, So he's essentially, what Izzy has done is that he's rounded up all his skills so that he doesn't have to worry about, taking damage on the ground. He's like, I'm good, and my jiu-jitsu is good enough to survive and get back up to my feet, not even when I give my back, enough to survive all of these things. What's easier than defense is much better than offense, right? It's the cornerstone of of a lot of jiu-jitsu. You learn how to defend yourself before you learn how to attack first. So his defense is pretty good. And if a guy like Marvin Vettori took his back quite quick, but lost the position, and then after that realized like, shit, okay, this guy is not going to be an easy guy to like just take his back and I can hang out here for I can chill or I can basically like ride out the round.
Yeah. Yeah, well, all three of us got our predictions wrong on this one. We all were looking for a finish in the early rounds, no?
Yeah, I was looking for a
But
finish,
props to
third, second,
Vittori,
third
man, for like
round.
hanging in there for all five against which was mostly a striking matchup. I mean, it was on its
Is
feet.
he?
There were moments against the cage, like, I mean, long times against the cage, but it was largely a striking matchup, and Vittori hung in there where.
Also, Izzy didn't go out of his way trying to finish it. Izzy was he was having fun, man. He was having fun. He was letting his opponent know that, listen, I'm levels above you. I can talk to you. I can hit you whenever I feel like. I can make you miss.
Yeah, it's basically outclassing him.
Yeah, he was, and he's letting him know
Yeah,
that this is
like,
where
I'm better than you at everything. Like just you lost, that kind of thing. It at some level. I also like look at it as sometimes I look at these as even more impressive victories, is because you get to see the complete skill set of a fighter. Right? You get to see him like, okay, he got taken down, he got back up, got put up against the cage, figured out a way how to get out of the cage, outstruck the guy, beat him up on the feet, and basically won every round of the judges' scorecards. Like, I mean, it's a very comprehensive total performance by a champion. So very hard to knock it. Like, yeah, it's a little boring, yeah. So, but some of these fights are like that. Not every fight is going to be like one round KO. The thing is with Israel, like sometimes he fights to the level of his competition as well, right? Like, look at Costa. Costa was hyper dangerous, like a killer. Finished him in 2 rounds because he fought at that level, fought him at that level. He's like, he realized like this dude is, because he said it, right? He's like, this guy doesn't pose any danger, Marvin Vettori, and he fought like that. Yeah, this guy pose any danger. Kick him around, power to beat the shit out of the rest of the fight.
All right. So I don't know if you guys watched the post-fight press conference, but even the post-fight interview right there, he had called out Whittaker.
Yeah.
And, during the day, Whittaker has also replied back that he's interested in. I guess that's what's up for Israel next.
Who else is there in middleweight? Like he's basically beat everyone there is to beat. Robert Whittaker crawled his way back to a title shot. He's the only one that deserves it right now. There's nobody else. Who can I think?
And the two of them are like levels apart. So it's the two of them, and then everyone else is
everybody else. Yeah.
True. Yeah.
And it's surprising that those two guys are from that Anzac region, huh? Like those guys are getting really good as well.
Yeah, and that's where he wants the fight to be this time in New Zealand. The last
one, great.
the last one was in Australia when Robert Whittaker was champion, and now he wants in New Zealand.
Melbourne, right? Yeah, it was in Melbourne because I remember in the post fight, it's like Melbourne, come on.
Yeah, Marvel Stadium. No?
Yeah, Marvel Stadium.
Massive fucking stadium. I guess that was the biggest turnout for a stadium event for the UFC. It was massive
at the time, huh?
So yeah.
Dude, these guys are UFC are breaking.
Dude, they broke into Mexico proper this time, huh?
Beautiful segue into our next topic.
Yeah. That was a killer performance by the assassin baby, Brandon Moreno, against scary champion in Deiveson Figueiredo. Man.
Yeah, man.
This prediction of mine I got, 1 point for me there.
This one you got. Yeah, I honestly thought Deiveson was like had figured him out and was going to beat him on the feet. But sometimes people say, fighters look off and this and that. But I think somewhere inside Deiveson, he knew. He's like, dude, I hit this guy with everything I had, and he didn't even get knocked down. Like he didn't even go to his knees.
Yeah.
He didn't crumble. He didn't.
Yeah. In fact, I think in that fight, Deiveson got rocked.
He did.
Which was.
Yeah, he got rocked way more than Moreno did. Moreno's. I rewatched it a couple of days ago. His feet never wobbled. They were always planted firmly. Yeah. Dude, that guy got a granite chin, man. Moreno, like granite chin.
And the only time he uses super fast hands, like what Sid was talking about last time.
Super fast hands.
His hands. Yeah.
So he kicks, everything. His jiu-jitsu is insane. Like took his back, and this is a black belt. Huh? People seem to forget. Like Deiveson Figueiredo is a black belt. And sunk it, and it's so difficult to sink that choke, and you can see like the guy's just trying to tear it off, but in the end, that Mexicano sangre por sangre, like full blood on blood shit, like these Mexicans are like that, right? Like these Latin American fighters, like they'll fight out of everything. Like you can never count out a Mexican fighter in a fight ever. Like to the last second, you can't count that guy out.
But what a fantastic, what a fantastic journey for Moreno as well. No, like he's become the champion now, but like he was in the Ultimate Fighter, he got cut. No, he didn't get cut. So he was the last guy picked. No, he was the last guy picked. Choked out.
Yeah, in his first fight, he fought that guy, Alexander Pantoja. And then in the first round, he got taken down and choked out. Like, yeah.
Then released from the UFC, then given a short notice fight. Just to see him now champion, you know, so we talk a lot about, you know, the stories, the storybook endings.
Oh, man, the struggles and the journey of fighters. Yeah, for sure. And that also training out of Tijuana at that time. I mean, throughout his career, he's just moved to the States to train at the the Performance Institute.
Yeah. But it doesn't really matter if he's moved. The thing is, he still has the same team with him. It's the same guys. Like they all live with him. Yeah. They bought a house and they all live in that house and go and train. It's just a professional decision, right? Like that you need to make. But the thing with Brandon Moreno is so impressive is that he's a true Mexicano champion, like born bred. You know, you can see it in the way he speaks. Like his English it's really heavily tainted with a Mexican accent.
No, for sure, man. He understands a position where he is in right now, and you know, he's training himself to be more liked by the American audience. There, for sure. And you could see that support, man, throughout Fight Week. I think if you watch the programs and you know the press conference, for example, fuck, they were going nuts for Moreno over there, man.
No, but that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. We spoke about the whole thing about, you know, first Indian champion. The thing is, like, you can have Canadians of Indian descent becoming champions. It's never going to mean anything. You know, the day we get an authentic Indian winning, it'll mean something. And you'll see it. You will not have to like do paid promotions to make it popular. You know, the Indian public will be behind it. You know, there'll be no promotion that will be. There'll not be one championship pushing UFC. The whole fucking country will be pushing. You know, because you would have seen a homegrown guy, you know, get to that level, and you will get that authenticity, which is not there right now because we don't have. I still, you know, all three of us agree that India doesn't have a world champion because they're Canadians or whatever. Here, this is a good story of, you know, someone from Mexico, authentic guy, you know, local who's made it, and that's how you see how much pride there is. You know, all the Mexican fans are going crazy because it's a true story. It's a true underdog who's lived in the country, who's worked hard, struggled, and now reached the pinnacle. You know, that's what it means to be a champion. There's no, you know, Henry Couto could have said that I'm a fucking first Mexican champion, or there's so many guys who are Mexican.
Yeah, I mean, like Kane was marketed as marketed as the first Mexican.
But they're not.
Was he heavyweight champion? तो था. लेकिन उससे पहले UFC में थे Mexican champions.
Nothing. He's the first guy. Yeah. The UFC for the longest time had a lot of American and Brazilian champs. It's only now that you're seeing a real diverse set of champions all across weight classes.
Yeah, and they've done wonders for it in, you know, their countries like I guess Joanna for Eastern Europe, and you know, now look at the amount of people coming out of that. Look at the whole Dagestan board fucking destroying shit, man. Yeah.
China with the chick.
And,
China with Wang. Wang. Yeah, Weili Zhang, yes. My God, I keep forgetting her name. Weili, with Weili. It's you once you have a fighter, local fighter, right? What it does is everybody just relates to it, right? People from that country relate to it. They're like, yeah, I know exactly where he comes from. He's seen the same shit that I've seen. He's traveled in the same fucking taxi cabs and the same shitty buses that I have traveled. Right? Whereas you look at Arjun Bula, it's like, how the fuck is that guy Indian? Like in what universe is he Indian?
How many times has he been pulled over for challans? You know,
does he even know what a challan is? Is my question. Does he know what a challan is? He doesn't. So that's my main thing. Everyone's India has India doesn't have a champion yet. This is a Canadian man. Be proud that you're the third Canadian champion. It's a huge honor to be that. Like, and they've only been very few of them, man. Like, I mean, Carlos Newton was one GSP and now him. Yeah. Be proud of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really on him. I mean, like, he's of course proud of his Indian heritage, and you know, he'll always kind of push that.
Yeah.
It's more of the marketing which is coming from the promotion side, because they're the ones who need to break
The
into.
problem with 1FC marketing is it's like, I hate using this word because it means very different things to different people, but it's really cringe, man. Like really cringe, like eesh, like really like. 1FC marketing, it's like we're reaching out to 3.8 billion viewers.
I
Like,
mean, that's what works in China, bro. And something like
yeah,
that
and
would
then
be.
low grade, low IQ shit. Like you have to target the lowest of the low. No, the squatting Asian smoking a cigarette. That's who
You
you're
know,
targeting.
they always make fun of, I don't know how many events the 1FC has had now, but they have to have unique names for each event.
Yeah. Oh my
Eye of the
God.
tiger, fist of the dragon, just kya kya.
But is that not inspired from Pride? I think Pride used to have it also.
Oh, yeah.
The UFC is inspired by the UFC.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
UFC used to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
different names.
Sudden impact and bad blood and all sorts of
I
things.
think pre-Dana,
Yeah.
all the UFCs were names.
Yeah, and then after that they're like, yeah, no, like just keep it as the number, like, and it's easier that way. But Pride, the thing was, Pride had like Pride 12, only certain ones had like names. Like if it was like the GP, they'd have like Pride Shockwave or Pride Collision Course, and they had cool names like that. It was always cool. The marketing teams are good. Problem with 1FC marketing team is it's fucking loser Singaporeans. Guys who talk like this they don't know what they say. It's those kinds of people that are marketing for them, and they're marketing to those kinds of people. So you're going to see like cringe marketing from that. You'll never see the level of quality that even Bellator does, for example.
अभी the last उनका event था ना दंगल. I mean अब तो हो गया. I think 1 or 2 more have happened since then. So with the commentary, I don't know if you guys noticed, we're going like, today's event is literally called Dangal, which means wrestling pit in India. I'm like, no, it doesn't mean a fucking wrestling pit, bro.
Yeah, like please, bro, like please, like do some research at least, yeah. Like no, but they can't even pronounce it. Dangal, like that guy, Mitch Chilson, who's one of the worst commentators I've ever heard in my life, man. That guy's really bad. All he does is scream.
With the first Mexican champion, I do see UFC returning to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, they have to. The only issue is that right now with COVID.
Yeah. I mean, like, COVID ki wajah se, of course. But
eventually, dude, Mexico City is going to go crazy for Brandon Moreno. Come on, like his own people, like Viva la Raza.
So, like, they have like a full fight card which can go with them also. Of like, born and raised Mexican fighters.
There's a lot of them in the UFC right now as well, right? Like, what's his name? That guy, Gabriel Benitez. There's Yair Rodriguez.
The two girls, I think, did they come from?
Yeah. Irene Aldana from Mexico.
Yeah, Aldana and
Grasso.
Yeah, Alexa Grasso.
Yeah, the two of them. They're also from Mexico. Again, very good fighters. Like,
or they might make another the tough Mexico might happen as well.
You never know the UFC. They're looking for talent, right? Like, look. When you're trying to break into new markets, you're going to have local talent. If you don't have local talent, how do you fill a card? Like, you guys can go to Brazil 2-3 times a year and fill the card with Brazilians, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like, every fight is a Brazilian. Sometimes Brazilians fighting against Brazilians, But in Mexico, could they do it? Yeah, I think they could. Right now, I think the gyms and the kind of people that, the athletes, the level of athletics and fighting in Mexico is really high right now. They have a champion. Yeah. Yeah. What a beautiful showing for him as well. Like, I mean, dude, the guy dominated almost every second of that fight. Yeah, Figueiredo was never in it.
Dude, yeah. I mean, Figueiredo did look a bit out of it, no? Sid? Like, he wasn't attacking as well.
It just seemed like he just didn't get out of the first gear, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he started off thinking it's going to be a 5-round fight. He had a massive weight cut. He always has.
Yeah,
he walks around at 165. And they say that once the camp ended, his weight was about 152, 153. So that was his weight after the camp ended. Yeah, that's when the weight cut started. So just to think of someone who's cutting down like 18, 20, 25 pounds, that's a lot of weight to cut.
Especially for smaller guys, right?
Smaller guys, yeah, man. And they every time they cut weight, because again, you've seen how many times he's actually made weight. He's made a weight so many times. It actually, every time you do it, it diminishes you. And it shortens your career. You've had those stories. So I don't know, man. I don't know if that played a factor. I think it must have. It must have. The weight cut must have. And we saw that he never got off the first gear. Maybe he was pacing himself for a 5-round fight, and then he got cracked with that jab.
Yeah.
He got cracked with the jab, close man. He never came back. He never came back.
Yeah, he was always in defensive mode after that. Like even when he took Brandon Moreno down, like Moreno was attacking and just like sort of creating scrambles on the ground. And when he took Deiveson down and took his back, you could see it. Like that guy's rear naked choke is very good. It's very good.
Yeah, he defended it a few times. He defended it a few times. Rolled to the side. And that's what I thought. Initially, I thought, oh, nikal gaya. He'll get out. But no. No. Brilliant execution.
Yeah, superb. Like, I mean, just beautiful jiu-jitsu, as they say. Really beautiful jiu-jitsu. And it goes to show that, like, imagine a Mexican tapping a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tackle. Thing. But a fantastic win from Brandon Moreno. I think, like, as a flyweight, right now, I don't know who's next. But, well, I mean, there's always that dude that he lost to, Askar Askarov. Yeah. That guy's out there. The fucking Dagestani, like, just waiting. Deaf also, huh? Can't hear anything. He's going to be a real tough cookie to solve.
Yeah. Although they asked him if he's interested in a rematch. I mean, Deiveson has done a couple of title defenses, and how many Brazilian
I think Deiveson needs to move up, bro. He has to move up. I don't think he's not getting young. These weight cuts are going to take a toll. I think he needs to move up weight class and fight bigger guys, but fight at least at 100%. I'm not sure if he was at his best today. Like, he just didn't look like he belonged in the octagon with Moreno.
The only problem with 135 is, like, god damn, that division is full of animals. Like, just like the top 10 is full of guys who, like, separate you from consciousness. Like, it's killers. Like, that's why guys can't wait to flyweight, because bantamweight is something else, man. Like, just look at the guys like Corey Sanhagen, what's his name, Rob Font. All these kinds of dudes. Like, they're waiting for you in bantamweight. Bantamweight fights always deliver. So I think maybe he needs a better nutritionist. I don't know, but I think he needs to fight one more before, because let's be real, like, he got finished quite definitive. Like, there was no question about it. Like, it was a close fight. Nothing. No. He got his ass beaten, fucking submitted. I think he needs maybe 1 or 2 more fights flyweight and then maybe challenge for the title. But right now, Brandon Moreno champion, I think he should fight that guy, Askar Askarov, his next defense. That'd be a great title defense for him as well. And it'll help show his full skill set, right? Like, he's a good striker, good wrestler, good grappler. So you'll get to see, like, his grappling tested with Askar Askarov.
Yeah. So then the 5-round fight between Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards.
Jesus.
Yeah, okay. You were, like, quite accurate on the prediction for that. Yeah, he fucking
like, pretty much on the button, right?
Did exactly what you said, that he cut him off short between the combos, use the clinch, get those elbows in. Yeah, man, he fucking pieced him up.
Pieced him up, like, busted his leg up, busted his body up, like, beat the shit out of him basically for 4 minutes 50 seconds.
Yeah,
4 minutes. What is it, like 4 minutes? Was the last, like, minute or so?
Yeah, 45 seconds or something.
I think it was. I think it was the third when he got cut up real bad, and then I was like, oh fuck. And then he got cut up on his head also, and he got cut up on the eye, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is like heading towards a doctor stoppage, man.
But the resilience of Nate Diaz, the guys, dude, these guys, like, the amount of damage that they can take, it's inhuman, man. It's inhuman. He didn't even get dropped. That's nuts. Like, Nate Diaz is a fucking OG, like, real gangster. Like, you know what I mean? Like, real gangster. That guy can take it, man. And Leon Edwards made one mistake. It nearly cost him that entire fight.
Sid, he had him in a leg lock in the, I don't remember what round it was. Fuck, I should be making notes. No, that's what I'm doing.
Second round, it was the second round, but not close.
Leg lock, was he close?
Yeah, no, he wasn't close. He wasn't close at all. I was actually impressed when Leon Edwards took his back. He took his back. He got one hook in. He was trying to get the second hook in. I was like, oh, damn, this could be. And I think everybody was pretty shocked at that point.
Yeah, wow. I was like, damn, son, like.
He's taken Nick, because that would have made a statement. Like, had he finished him there, that would have just made such a massive statement. But again, Nick Diaz, man, it's so easy for him to get out. So yeah, Nick Diaz got out, and then and just the unorthodox way that he fights. So sometimes it's like they spoke about it as well. Like Nate Diaz fights, nobody fights like him apart from him and his brother. It's so awkward the way they strike, the way they move. He was like turning his back, like take my back again. Take my back.
He did some
He's
funny shit.
trying all that. Took an absolute beating on his lead leg. His lead leg.
Dude, I mean, like Leon fought so smart, man. He didn't like get emotional, fall for any of that shit. He didn't stay in the pocket with him. That's what the Diaz brothers wants. They want you to stand at boxing range and trade.
Yeah, and a lot of people are mistaken. A lot of people say that they don't have knockout power or whatever. Man, if he did land, like he landed that straight left in the end, man, that hurt.
Leon Edwards has never been wobbled before.
Never been wobbled.
Dude, yeah, man.
It was so close. I think another 20 seconds it was, or 30 seconds.
Like Nate Diaz has, Leon has been dropped before, but never like wobbled. Like okay, like I'm getting fucked. He fought Vicente Luque, I remember. Luque dropped him, but he took him down immediately. Like, that whole, when you get dropped and then you shoot him immediately, he took him down. But here, like when Nate hit him, like, Dude,
the urgency wasn't there, man. He really would have had a chance. He followed up immediately, but he wasted a good couple of seconds, man. Just like
but again,
at him, and
that's at the end of the last round. Like last round, man. They're all gassed. They're all gassed. I mean, no matter how much conditioning you have, 30 minutes to go, and you had a war. Just to think about the intensity that he brought in the last 30 seconds, that's like, it might not seem like a lot on the television, but that is fucking hard to do, man. Last 30 seconds of a fight, that's bloody hard to do.
Coach, you and me have been in this situation, like in competition like that. Like the last, like when, like I've honestly, I've just given up. I'm like, fuck it, like I can't deal with this shit no more. I'm done, like, whatever. But like it's impossible on you as physically, like to just pull that shit out of you, man. Sometimes your body just like, no, not happening.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've seen like guys empty out their gas tank till the buzzer, man. Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit comes to mind. Deiveson versus Shogun. Those fucking fights, just
like, I mean, those fights, like when these athletes are old, like when their bodies ache and they'll remember these fights. Like this is what caused this. Like, this horrible time I'm having right now is because I fought that motherfucker like 30 years ago. So it's very difficult to do what Nate Diaz did, to rally back and first things first, to hit him with power at the end of the 5th round. Like, how hard that is, like to swing correctly and to have all the correct pivoting and all the footwork. And I mean, it's inhuman. Nate Diaz is a special, real special Hall of Famer, man. People say he don't hit hard. Ask Conor McGregor how hard he hits.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor became a fucking D1 wrestler, after that shit, shooting double legs and all, like.
Yeah, and so like if you do boxing sparring, no one's gonna hit you, slaps. No one's gonna slap you. So there's nobody like that. No, you cannot prepare for fighters like Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz. They're so unorthodox. So when he slaps, his hand is like fully extended. He slaps you, and then obviously you don't want to get slapped. Which fighter wants to get slapped repeatedly? In front of like a UFC brass and in front of all the audience. Nobody wants to. So
and the crowd's loving it also, even when he's missing. The crowd's like fully behind Nate.
Exactly. He slaps you, so you get pissed off, you engage in the battle, and then the straight is coming in the back. That's sort of the strategy, always.
Those guys have a lot of TKOs. Like, I mean, Nate Diaz has a lot of TKOs on his record, man. Like, Gray Maynard got his head caved in by Nate Diaz. People forget that shit as well. He's beaten a lot of people. The Diaz brothers, people say, no, don't have power. Again, ask Paul Daly how much power Nick Diaz has.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember that fight? Like, Christ, Paul Daly never gets finished with strikes. Nick Diaz finished him with strikes. These guys are like, those two are a special character, special breed of human being, man. Like, they do triathlons for fun. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run 30 miles to what? Like, then swim 20. What? Like, there's that story, right? That these two have swum to Alcatraz and back.
Yeah.
What? Like, it's ridiculous. But again, props to Leon Edwards, man. That guy does not make mistakes here. 24 minutes, 24 full minutes, he didn't make a single mistake. He beat the 7 shades of fucking Stockton. Stockton shit out in
Was it
Nate Diaz.
impressive enough for you to consider him in title contention?
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. No.
What
Not yet. Not
be doing
like,
next?
Leon, shit, this is the problem. Leon ideally needs to fight someone like Colby.
Yeah, that's the title fight right now, man. Yeah,
like a guy like that, like who's just relentless pressure, relentless wrestling, relentless everything. Like he needs to fight someone.
Like we discussed last time, like the UFC is looking for their next British star, right? I mean, Darren Till's in his division, but now he's put himself in a place beating a high-profile fighter like this. I would say he's got a settled beef with Masvidal, man.
Yeah, I think that should be
a pretty high-profile fight for him.
That should be the next fight. If he wins that, Kamaru Usman. Then there cannot be any. There's no denying him after that. You beat Masvidal, Kamaru Usman's next. But for right now, you need to fight someone like of that caliber. Nate Diaz, he's very good, but he's a career lightweight. That's the issue with him, right? Like he's a lightweight. He's not a welterweight.
He moved up to welterweight, not before that.
You need to fight a welterweight, like a good welterweight. So, but
I think the issue that Leon Edwards had before Nate Diaz was that nobody wanted to fight him.
Yeah,
I think that now that people have seen him wobbled, they've seen him at the end of the 5th round. You think more people will call him out now? More people will want to fight him, or do you think still?
Yeah, I think. You know what I think would actually make a very good fight, but it'll probably be a very like only hardcore fans will watch it. Only like the three of us sitting here, like those kinds of Neil Magny versus
Neil Magny is also
Leon Edwards. I'd like to see that fight. That'd be a really good fight. Like really welterweight, man. Just pick any top 10, put them against each other.
Yeah, I think all of those are good fights. All of these guys are good fights.
All of them are good fights. Like Leon Edwards, Vicente Luque rematch. Fucking fantastic. Leon Edwards, Wonder Boy. I mean, even Hamzat. Like, I'd like to see that guy come back.
Isn't Wonder Boy scheduled to fight him now?
Gilbert Burns. He's fighting Gilbert Burns in July, I think. Something July, August, around something like that.
Oh, yeah. And Nate, of course, wants huge name. So, I mean, like, there's already talks online of him now kind of wait out for Conor. What do you think?
Yeah. See, I fully expect Dustin Poirier to smoke Conor McGregor. Usually, because I'll tell you why. Statistically, like if you look at UFC title fights and rematches and things like that, the guy who wins the second fight usually has made more adjustments and 80% of the time wins the third. Yeah. So statistics are on his side. You'll see it on most rematches as well. Like the guy who wins the first one. Usually, second one, if he wins, then it means over, like GSP. But if he loses the second one, he's going to probably lose the third one as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him. I'd like maybe Conor loses to Dustin Poirier, gets smoked, gets smashed, and then comes back to fight Nate Diaz for one big money fight, and then I'm done. Like out. The guy's made $600 million from fucking selling his proper 12 booze. Like, I mean, shit. Why would anyone want to fight again?
Crazy shit. Yeah.
I mean, that guy's got like generational wealth now. Like. $600 million. Like, holy shit.
He's not in it. Like that's been discussed. He's not really in it for the money. He's in it for the fight.
He's in it to fight. Like, I mean, the guy likes to fight. But I think Dustin's got his number now.
Yeah, Dustin. Yeah, he takes it.
Yeah, so I think maybe Nate Diaz fights Conor next, or who else could Nate fight? That's a good big name for him right now.
The BMF belt could go back up for grabs.
No, there has to be some heat, man. Like Nate Diaz got to have some heat with someone. Like someone's got to talk shit to him.
Yeah, they can't make Masvidal and Diaz again. That was again one-sided.
Yeah, completely one-sided. It was worse than Leon Edwards. Like, I mean, dude, he beat the shit out of him. Like, Masvidal hits really hard as well. Like, people don't understand that. I mean, he hits incredibly hard. Darren Till found out firsthand how hard Masvidal hits. Like.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to see.
I mean, like, that still is, I mean, it was one-sided while it lasted 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But
maybe in the last 2 rounds.
Inconclusive, still. Like we've seen Diaz pull off today.
Yeah, that's true. But the only thing is that Masvidal is not Leon Edwards. Like, that guy can fight full 5 rounds, no problem. Like, you've been seeing, he doesn't make mistakes like that. Yeah. He's super experienced as well. Like I said, about 52, 53 fights, man. He's shit. Like crazy experienced. So, I mean, good for Leon Edwards. One more fight and then title shot for him.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see Nate at 155 now.
Yes, and maybe
Yeah.
Nate goes back to 155. Fights a big name.
Yeah, big name in 155.
But all in all, like the card was me.
Yeah.
Luke Warren.
You probably watched the undercard and
Yeah, I watched all
prelims
of
and
it. Like,
everything as
the
well. Yeah.
first fight on with that stupid Jake Collier fight was so boring. Heavyweight fights that go past the first round are death, man. I tell you.
gotta catch up on the Drew Dober fight since we
Oh,
discussed
that was
it, and it got
awesome.
fight of the
That
month.
was awesome. That was damn. That was fight of the night. I mean, I think Dana said as much as well. Fantastic it was, dude. Those guys just threw everything at each other. And
नहीं, मेरे को पता मतलब को नहीं पता कौन जीता. I don't even know who won that.
luckily, I didn't tell you who won. Go check out. Watch the fight. You find it on some site or the other. But yeah, it was an okay event. I mean, when's the next one? Let me see. When's the next UFC?
Yeah,
July
who's
10th?
fighting in 264?
Conor versus Poirier.
Is that it? No, I'm sure there's a fight night in between or something.
No, fight nights are there. The next paper.
Yeah, but there's one fight night. Oh yeah. There is one 20th June. It's Chan Sung Jung versus Dan Ige. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And 2 versus 264 card looking like?
264. I'm saying 264. Oh damn, it's loaded. Well, not. So you have Dustin versus Conor. You have co-main event is Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. What?
Okay.
Yeah. Welterweight.
So it's a one-fight card. It seems like it's a one-fight card. Then.
Yeah, it looks like a one. I mean, Gilbert Burns, Stephen Thompson's in on that fight.
That's a good
That fight's on it. Irene Aldana versus Yana Kunitskaya is there. Then let's see. Nico Price is fighting the guy, Michael Pereira, the guy who does the backflips and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay, there's actually a really good fight and very difficult fight also. Kevin Lee versus Sean Brady.
Oh, wow.
Welterweight.
Yeah, that's
the first one on the main card then, yeah?
I think it's headlining the prelims.
Oh, it's headlining the prelims.
Yeah, it's headlining the prelims. Oh, fuck. That's a good fight. Dude, one thing to be said about Kevin Lee, that guy doesn't take easy fights, man.
Yeah.
That guy's just fought everybody. Like, just anyone. Rafael Aldo, okay. Charles Oliveira, fine. Fucking welterweight, whatever. Okay. Like, just never turns on fights.
Yeah.
He's got to put an undefeated animal in front of him in Sean Brady. Like, the guy he arm triangled, what's his name? Jake Matthews. His last fight. Yeah, really good fighter. But, I mean, okay card. There is one more fight card before that also. But this is the Cyril Gane versus Alexander Volkov fight.
Okay.
Heavyweights.
We have a few fights coming up.
There are a few good ones coming up. There are a couple of them.
Break down the main fights from these.
Yeah. Let's just do the main card for all of these. We don't need to do anything.
ESPN Plus cards. They're no longer Fox cards, no?
Yeah, ESPN Plus cards. All ESPN Plus. Even the pay-per-view are through ESPN now.
Cool. All right. So I guess that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll be back. I don't know whenever the next card is. We'll be back with some more analysis, I guess. Thanks so much for watching. Juan Saxena, Siddharth Singh, and Andrew Liu signing off.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. See you, gentlemen.